Alright, so this has been a long time coming. First off, I want to show off my hex head drivers. Give a little insight into the reason why I use them. First off, you can see they hold well. And with that, there's no effort to turn them. You don't have to push in. You know how much pressure you're putting on them because they hold themselves into place, as you can see with the both of those at different angles just placed in. But what's also convenient, as you can see here, this particular Addy uses 3mm grub screws. So I replaced all my Addy screws with hex heads. And with this 1.5mm driver, you can see 1.5 stripes. You can use 3mm, 2.5mm, or 2mm screws. You just got to use 3mm grub screws, 2.5mm. Man, I just forgot what these are called too. Button screws, and 2mm cap heads. And that 1.5mm driver fits all three of them. That covers almost every Addy on the market. For example, my Stumpy, my Zenith back there in the corner. The RM2 takes 2mm, the Reamizer 2. It just makes things real convenient. Now we have Huddy, whatever you want to call it, EDS, and MIP Thorpe. If you're going to get hex head drivers and you want them to last, you want them to work well, I would suggest one of these three. They're all very stout, got very good handles, very good ergonomics. As you can see though, the MIP, when you get it, that's a 0.9mm. I don't know if you can see that, yeah. When you get them in smaller sizes, they come more appropriately sized for the work you'll be doing. The Huddy and the EDS are nearly identical as far as feel, weight, length. The big difference with the EDS is when you get the metrics, you get this little cap on the end. It makes it real smooth. If you need to push down on something and turn, it turns real smooth in your hand. Whereas if you want to get the Huddy, you would have to buy that cap separately. And the Huddy's a little more expensive. Other than that, the Huddy's got more of a carbon steel, and the EDS has a little more of a spring steel. As far as longevity and how well the bit on the end lasts, they're pretty much identical. So, feel in the hand, length, the wear and tear, pretty much identical. So now let's get into the laboratory. It's a mess. It's a horrible mess. This room is way multi-use. It's the office. It's my hobby room. It's storage. But anyway, that's that. So over here we got concentrates. That's just a nail polish holder, acrylic nail polish holder. You can find that on eBay. Hey hon, what store did we buy this at? Oh, she walked away.
Amazon.
No, this.
Harbor Freight.
And this is a tool organizer from Harbor Freight. I mean, we got so much stuff in here, it's ridiculous. Little pads for cleaning up, can thaw, addy boxes, more buffing pads for cleaning contacts, my special Italian bottles for squonking, extra tubing, my Nick pre-mix or stored Nick 60 milliliter bottles. More addy parts, things like that. Polish and rag. And then it's got nice little shelves. Some of them have dividers in them. I got all my nuppin stuff in the back 2 rows there. Spare nuppins, drip tips and such. Spare parts. Oh, and the directions for laminated directions for checking the nicotine concentration, which I do before I put it in storage. After I take it out of the liter bottles. More spare parts. Some batteries. Cleaning cloths and labels and spare parts that made it in the wrong places. Deoxit survival kit. Shrink tube. Shrink tube for my bottles. I put that on the caps before I put them in the freezer. Let me know if anybody's been into them. Hey, look, more batteries. Spare mods, spare parts, spare screws. That's where they came from. That's where they go. Scissors, vape rag. You know, in case you want to be rag boy. And then that all closes up like that. And over here, I got my mod polishing and cleaning supplies. Semi-chrome, Renaissance wax, no oxide D. This was more spare parts than anything, but it's changed. Tools, can thaw, 316 stainless steel, yada yada. Rat's nest the wife made for me. All kinds of supplies, syringes, lower lock needles, Rio parts. I've collected quite a bit of Rio parts, pinch parts. Ultrasonic cleaner. Over here we got just a extra mod pile, or also known as the home team. Graduated cylinders. The syringes, after they've been cleaned, they go here to dry. Typically they're clean, but apparently not today. Extra blocks in case I get any more of them. It's just a mess here, really. And then under here, I don't know if you can see that. It needs to be cleaned off, but those are right here. They're spinners for my mag mixer that I made. It's got a little switch on the side. It plugs around here somewhere. I think it's plugged in. So I can mix while I add my bromothymol blue. Check my nicotine concentration. And over here, we got rolling tote, and we transfer our glycerin into glycerin and our PG into glycerin, small glycerin bottles, Humco, for purpose of mixing. Cotton pads, chassis dough, I guess, I presume. Looks like I clear 16B coil heads. We don't need anymore. We don't even have a 16B anymore. Some more supplies, syringes. And it's the copper. T-Mod. It's been retired. Loading bottle for the billet box. More tools. I usually keep it more organized than this, but I'm never home enough to clean it up and organize it. Spare bottles. Glass bottles. Where is it? This. I'll put paint around that so you can see the color real well when you're doing the mixing. Checking the nicotine level. It works out really well with that white background. You can see the color when it changes. More juice or flavor concentrate for juice. And over here, bottles and caps. Should be plenty for a lifetime, I hope. A couple Glide cubes. Some Cotton. That's pretty much mostly everything. Some nicotine in the freezer. Then we have my travel case. Of course, I got a charger in my truck, so I'm a truck driver. But I have a spare charger, which also I have a spare converter there. Car plug for it. House plug for the charger. Contact cleaners and prep. Spare screws and wrench for nupping addies. Spare cords, spare plugs. Lipo checker with an attachment on it so I can check 18650 cells. Put the contacts on there. Done deal. And a little bit of sandpaper strips for cleaning contacts. Over here, some no-ox in a little case. Spare drip tip, spare addy parts, rayon, cotton, Q-tips. Then of course, in the truck, I have a Rio already waiting there. Then I got this one with a nupping cap, custom, or nupping addy, custom top. Nice big fat drip tip. Okay. And then, of course, I keep rags in here, keep everything dry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flavors of juice. Spare bottles, spare batteries, scissors. This goes in here in case I ever fix something in my old truck at work. Cutters. Screwdrivers. .5 millimeter. You can't see it. It doesn't want to focus on it. Anyway, 0.9 millimeter for my nothing addies. 1.5 millimeter for the rest of my addies. You can see side by side the hoodie versus the MIP. As far as size, these, I don't use tweezers. These are just too controllable. I can feel them. And it's as opposed to squeezing on some tweezers and hoping I'm squeezing right. Cuticle scissors. These are great for cutting cotton. And conveniently small. And they stay sharp. And then over here, I have pre-made coils and this little bar I cut that off the end of my coil jig. I'm sure some of you guys know what this is. And I use that to tighten my coils up after I've cleaned them up and whatnot. I can reset them where I need to be, keep them nice and cool, nice and even. And this, by the way, is a thingy. That's what the IB tank, Cardo tanks used to come in. And it's just convenient and it works perfect. Right there to keep my spare coils in. So that's about that. Any questions?